Okay, good evening everyone. Today we configuring the other site with site B, and the the company B has FortiGate, Fortinet server. So we'll configuring the other side and also configure the FTP server. So we have FTP server to the site as well. And then we'll do that some communication between the two sites. So basically, here's site A and this is site B. We're making a tunnel. The tunnel goes like this. Yeah, so some sort of tunnel, IPsec, um, and then all the traffic goes this way and exit it out. So the incoming traffic, the outgoing traffic should be going in an overlay, and that's the IPsec tunnel. So the tunnel is encrypted, and everything else should go to the cloud. That's the underlay. Traffic normally goes as usual, but mainly we need to have that site-to-site VPN. So the site-to-site VPN means between tunnels between the two sites, and this traffic should be exchanged within the IPsec. That's what we're doing today. So let's get started configuring. So the normal way is to configure the management. So we have a management board with port 1 right now. So we're configuring a port 1 to get the management console. Then we'll access through GUI and configure the port 2 and port 3 and everything else. So this part 2 is only related to site B for configuring the FortiGate and the FTP server for Linux. And then the final part 3 is the IPsec. Okay, I think by default, if you don't configure or no, don't know the credential, the default credential is admin, and password, there is no password. So now you just go ahead and say enter. So default, there's no password at all. So the way you do this is you go ahead and go to the config system interface. This is what you want to go into. Your question mark, you see the way that Cisco works is totally different than FortiGate. So if you used to be a CLI guy where you normally do everything in CLI, some of the vendors are not that good for CLIs. They're normally good at it when it comes to the GUI. So as part of FortiGate, you can put the management. You can do just like a Cisco CLI, but the problem is it's not that tough. Uh, basically, it's not that good like a Cisco. It's a little bit tough to configure. So what we do is we normally configure a management GUI and jump into the GUI and configuring that way. You're not gonna enjoy on CLI. Just like Palo Alto and others the same. So we'll configure. You basically edit. You edit the ports. So if you look right now by dynamically, there's a DHCP on my local LAN, and it gets the IP address dynamically from port 1. So we have a 30.0.0.0.7. So we don't need anything else. We go ahead and jump into the GUI, close it out the CLI, and access configure most of them on GUI based. So if you look here, like I say, the admin portal, the login is default to admin, no password for now. You can create one. For now, we'll say later. And this is how the FortiGate looks like, right? So when we have a system information, the license, the cloud, security, fabric, and some of the virtual information. On the left side, we do have all the modules, we'll say securities and networking systems. So basically, to set up the port one, sorry, port two and port three, we'll start doing the WAN. So we'll go ahead and go to the network. If you wanna configure and look at interfaces, you go to the network. Under network, you go to interface, and you will see everything. The management port is port 1. We have access ping, DHCP, SSH-in, and so on. Now the WAN, it's port 2. So you can select and hit edit, or you can double tap. So you can select and edit. And if we go back to the the diagram, we have a 100.0.0.1/8. That's our WAN network. So manually entering, you go to the setting here and you input the IP address for that. I'll leave .1. Yeah, .1. And you can just say /8. So the thing is, the administrative access, what you're gonna do with it, is it a ping, allow, or no? So we go ahead and say allow the ping for now. So we can just the ping, they can ping the site A, site B can ping each other. What's the role for this? So we're doing a tagging, right? So this is gonna be a WAN. Um, if you want to do more, we could do that, but now we'll keep the basic. The bandwidth estimate, allies, if you need a name. We don't need all that. Just to make sure the interface is up, which is the enable and green light. We're here okay. It looks like it's connected and running. We have a CLI within the GUI where we can test the other end. There's a CLI on top here. I know it's really slow, but we can test how to bring this thing execute. It's a different command you can use. Execute ping, I believe. That's what it is. And 100 space out. .2 destination unreachable. So we need to do some troubleshooting. So destination unreachable, and the other end. Alright, let's start the cloud. I think cloud was off. Turn the cloud on. I lost some packets. Hmm. Wipe and then turn on. So I want to make sure we have a connection. All right, meanwhile, we'll go ahead and configure the LAN. And I believe LAN is 192.168.0.200. 192.168.0.200 and is /24 being allowed. Define this one to a LAN and we're good to go. It's up. Back CLI. Add a web. Yep. So now you can see the reachability is up between the two sites in the underlay. So it's going to be through the WAN. We still did not configure the IPsec yet. We'll do that part 3, like I said. With this time we'll configure the LAN. We have a machine, FTP machine. The way we do this is B machine. Just need some connectivity. Second. Nothing I'm doing different. The only thing I'm doing adding a cloud to get connection and install the FTP server. Alright, let's turn the FTP so we can get the package. So let's turn this on. Size is bigger, so we change that to 85. Yeah, I think 85 is fine. Okay, cool. We'll log in. This is CentOS. So I want to make sure this is CentOS. So we'll check that if you want to know. That's CentOS 7. Alright, the way we do this, just to make sure this connection is up, we have a WAN connection in the other end, but where the LAN is ETH0, that was going upward. But what about the ETH1? I just connected as a backup connection. So the 00, so I can remote it using any, so I can use remotely SSH in, accept the key, and connect this way as a backend. So what's going on right now is just configure the ETH1. Um, so we do the NMCLI connection method. We change the method for the ETH0, and this is IPv4 method. The method is manual. The IPv4 address should be .100/24, and the gateway, same command. Gateway should be gateway um, 192.168.200 NMCLI, it's spelling wrong, NMCLI. Huh. Connection.com. Okay, NMCLI connection up, ETH0, looks good, active, clear, connect, okay, verify. We got that connectivity going on. Let me pick the FortiGate 192.168.0.200. It's reachable. Beautiful. This is how we do this. So now FTP, the additional stuff that I'm doing is I'm adding the FTP server and test it, right? So when we do this is we install, I'm gonna install FTP server. Okay, looks good. We have FTP server. To understand, we have that package and verify. RPM query is what you check. See if you have what version. FTP server, and the server version is 3.0. We're good at that. The question is, is it running or not? We can check the status, and it looks like not loaded. It's not active. First thing we need to do is check the syslinux. Um, see enforce 0 1. Alright, enforce SC check, and here that way we can cd in. Sorry about that, we got a cd in that. ls command will look the configuration mode, and it's enforcing, right? So easy way to do it outside, it's you set enforce and you put this in 0. So now if you say get enforce, you look permissive mode. So we turn off. Basically, now the second thing we gotta do is firewall. Firewall. Let's all double check the firewall is active. There's no FTP allowed, so we need to have that service going. We gotta add the FTP to allow firewall. The way we do that is we adding the service equal FTP, and we can also do as a port 20. We'll keep. I think we gotta keep just what we're gonna add is alright, so that we will allow the FTP and we added the port. Basically, yeah, let's add the port as well. So that's easy. Port 21 and this TCP, right? We'll reload the firewall just to make sure it's active. The reason I'm doing this, if you look the firewall, still there's nothing added. Oh, let me reload and see that helps too. Alright, it's activated. So we get that. Now let's turn on the FTP. Systemctl star pstbd and enable it so always on. Cool. Just verify. Looks good. Right. Question is, so the question is how we will access on site VPN, which the next it's gonna be site VPN connectivity between the ASA, LAN, and FortiGate. That's gonna be the next video. So we have that connection going on, so we can just make sure that we will set up next part 3. For now, we'll stop here for part 2, setting up Site B. Thanks everyone, and if you have questions, comments, feel free to post me in a comment and chat and send me email if you want to help me or have a conversation with me and want to join me. You can shoot out my email and and you know comment it out. Any wrongdoing you want to correct me, just send me over. Thanks again.